What's up, y'all? I can't get my crap together. Yeah, just the other day, rewatched this. Well, it's hard to think that it's an old movie, but it is. It's The American President. It's with Annette Benning and what's the hell's his name? Michael Douglas. Not Michael Douglas. Maybe it is Michael Douglas. Damn, I can't remember. Martin Sheen. Even got a oh, what the hell's his name? Marty McFly. Michael J. Fox. It's got Michael J. Fox in it as well. Not a bad flick. It was a reminder though. It was a reminder because now it's kind of a fancy, or not a fancy, but a popular thing to do on YouTube where people will talk about, oh, these movies, they're going woke, like Disney stuff, Marvel, Star Wars, whatever. It's going woke, go broke, and all that. Now, I get some of the points of that. I'm not saying that's all stupid, but uh, turn your mic up. Turn up your mic. It's right here. Can you hear it now? Hopefully you can, sir. And what's up to you too, Pac 12 Pilgrim? Man, this cap don't want to come off. Anyway, because in this movie, like I said, it's a good little love story. The American President. I like it's well acted. I like a lot of the actors in it. Pretty well written. But my God, the political horseshit in this movie, and I get it. You're dealing with a president, you're dealing with politics, but the amount of liberal horseshit, and it's look, there's conservative horseshit too. Not saying there isn't, but the amount in this movie is on a whole nother level. Even though it's a good movie, but the whole thing is okay. Should I be? Because they're going off on the global warming thing. This is in the '90s. Okay, trying to that was the whole thing. Annette Bening played this lobbyist character trying to get some kind of bill passed reducing emissions by 20% or some shit, and then uh, Michael Douglas's character, I think it was Andrew Shepard, was all about this crime bill, right? But really wasn't doing anything against guns, which that was a problem, right? Oh, Michael J. Fox's character, sir, how can we address crime and not handguns? I guess nowadays it'd be the AR-15. Yeah, they're not as concerned about handguns anymore in Hollywood. Yeah, so to enjoy a movie, you've had to deal with a lot of political horse shit, unless you agree with all that, and then there's nothing wrong with Hollywood. What are you talking about? Hollywood's great. For everyone else, for the rest of the country, it's been a little much. And I think after about so many years of that, and we wonder why Hollywood now is having some trouble selling movies to the mass public, because we're kind of, it's like the Oscars. People don't watch the Oscars anymore. We're tired of getting lectured to every damn time someone wins, you know, best foreign film, best short porn film, best, whatever. It just gets stupid. What's up, Mr. Robert France? Well, in case you haven't noticed by the thumbnail and all that, we have a new Pac or Big 12 going on. Pac 12, motherfucker. We'll get to them in a minute. All right, Robert France. Numbskull, how's the weather up there? It's hot as hell down here. Well, I'm not sure where you're staying there, but Dallas Fort Worth, man, beautiful day yesterday. I think it got up to like 85 degrees. A little hotter today. It's probably lower 90s, but hell of a lot better than it's been. 106, 108, and shit like that. Ugh. So had a reprieve from hell on earth for a couple of days. It's been nice. And apparently this next week should all stay in the 90s and not touch the hundreds. That'll be also nice if that still happens. But Saturday, yesterday was special, man. I went outside, grilled, and I wasn't just covered in sweat. It was nice. You live in Austin. Okay, okay. I got a kid that lives down there. And Austin's a beautiful place. A little like California. Maybe a few more under the bridge dwellers than the rest of the state, that kind of thing. But a nice place. Yeah, I bet it has been hot as hell down there. You probably get a little more humidity. Not as bad as Houston. Houston kissed my ass. Houston sucks. Not the team, but the city. Oh, it's horrible. Well, there's a big old long name. West Virginia Mountaineer Lair with Kenny. What's up, dude? All right. So, how I'm going to introduce our new 4 members going forward into the future, into the great beyond, is I want to rank their first seasons in the Big 12. What I think each team, I think where they're going to cap out at, a few reasons for each one. So let's get started with that. I think out of all the teams, I think Cincinnati will struggle the worst. Most people say it's Houston. I say it's Cincinnati. Just because we don't exactly know. They got a new coach, Satterfield. Their old coach, where did he go to? Nebraska or Wisconsin? I think it's Wisconsin. We'll go ahead and say Wisconsin. I think Nebraska was a rule went there, but I think it's Wisconsin. Big Ten anyway. I think he's a damn fool. He'll be out of a job in 3 years, I guarantee it. But he should have stayed in Cincinnati. However, Cincinnati, because the old coach left, who did a great job, miraculous job at Cincinnati. Fantastic coach. But he leaves and you lose a lot of talent and a lot of people through the NFL draft. So you don't really know what you got there. They do have talent. All right, the cupboards are not bare in Cincinnati. Satterfield, it kind of a little hit or miss with Louisville. He was the ACC Coach of the Year in 2019. All right, I think he came from Appalachian State. Won like three conference titles while he was there in a row, I believe. So dominant coach at that level. Goes to the Power 5 level, and let's see. 2020. And by the way, any records I'm talking about, like recent records, I'm only going back the last 2 years. I'm not screwing with the COVID stuff. Unless, you're a guy that's been around for a while, like Coach Satake at BYU, I'm really not going to touch on any of that. But Satterfield, Louisville, 2021, 6-7, not great, but got to a bowl game. Last year, 7-5, a little better. I know that wasn't good enough for the Louisville fan base. I understand that, but Satterfield, I mean, he is a good coach. I don't. A lot of people were kind of surprised Cincinnati went with him. They thought there were better options out there, and maybe there were. I think they prioritized someone having Power 5 experience, kind of going through the ringer a little bit. And Satterfield wasn't at Louisville for that long. 4 total years, including all the COVID bullshit. So a little tough for him to make some headway there. His first year was really good in 2019. But since then, it's kind of fallen off a little bit. But he hasn't had a losing record, in the Power 5 level. So that's something. And I think you have to give Cincinnati a little bit of room there. Like, they typically do a really good job of finding good head coaches. They found several, and Satterfield may be a guy who's going to Cincinnati, going to the Big 12, and makes that sucker blow up. I don't know. For this year though, I think really their ceiling is 6-6 and getting a bowl berth. I think if they have the best possible year, I think that's about the ceiling for them. So I got them fourth. So as you can see, I think a lot of these four schools coming in, and I don't think any of them are just going to be toilet water. I don't think you're going to find a 2 or 3 win season amongst these four schools. There's a chance every single one of them get into a bowl game this year. And that's not because the Big 12 is weak. That's because these schools, these programs are damn good and ran damn well. So to me, that's their upper crust for Cincinnati, the best they can do. At number 3, I got Houston. Now, Dana Holgorsen actually has been a pretty good head coach for the Houston Cougars. Not bad. 2021, 12-2. I think he tied for the conference there, and not freaking bad at all. 2020, sorry, that's 2021. 2022, 8-5. Let's see, he's won both the last 2 bowl games. So Dana Holgorsen's coming with something. He's a good coach, apparently. And he's got Houston on the right track, I believe. A lot of people just still don't know. But as I really kind of went into what this guy's about, he fell off in West Virginia, got out of there. I think they fired him. I'm assuming that West Virginia fired him. And maybe they're kind of paying the price for that now, because there's a lot of fans out there that would kind of surprise their head coach still has his job over there. Apparently, it's a thing with West Virginia. They don't seem to like to fire coaches, unless it's Holgorsen. But I don't think they're going to be that bad. I got them at their ceiling in the first year of the Big 12. 7-5 is probably the best they can get. The absolute best. It's a tough schedule. All right, so to me, if they really kind of play over their skis, they play better than people think they can, and if they do better, I think their ceiling is 7-5. I think that'd be a banner year for them. 7-5 first year in the Big 12. That's something to be proud of. But that's the upper echelon. I was trying to find more wins, but that the schedule could be it could be bad. It could be like I don't count Iowa State as an instant win for teams. Hell no, especially when they got to go there. I just don't. That's a tough, rough, freaking team. If you look at all their losses, they only won 4 games last year. All right, it wasn't a good year for Iowa State, but they were in all of those games. They didn't get blown out once. They could have had that record flipped easily, but it's tough for them to find points last year. They could put a foot in your ass, is what I'm saying. But sometimes they got in their own way, and it was kind of hard for them to score points. And so Houston, 7-5, I think is top shelf level for them. BYU, I got number 2. I think a lot of people think BYU is going to really struggle to get to a bowl game, but they got a damn fine coach. Satake, I love that name, Satake. You know what that sounds like? It reminds me of Karate Kid 2, right? The bad guy there, Miyagi, coward, that guy, the rich guy that lives in the village or owns the village of Mr. Miyagi. That's what that name reminds me of. I expect you go on BYU campus and he's like just practicing on this big ass log, just trying to cut it in half or something. I don't know. Every time I hear it, I just want to say Satake. Anyway, in 2021, he was 10-3. I guess that's including a bowl game. Should be 10-2. 2022, 8-5 or 8-4, whatever. Not as good, but good damn couple good damn seasons, and he's been there for, like I said, for a while. Only has one losing season in his career at BYU. That's pretty salty stuff. What is it? 56-34 record overall. Yeah. Their quarterback, I don't think he's anything super special, but he's got experience, and I think he's going to be pretty good. And to me, if you have a coach and a quarterback, that's half the battle. It really is. They got to do a little better on the road. But going to BYU, that's going to be a bitch for any team to go to. I know these are nice people, but man, does that place get loud. It is not an easy place to go and try to win a game. All right, now, to me, Texas Tech is the roughest home place to play or go on the road to. Tech's a bitch. West Virginia could be a bitch. The Bounce House, the greatest name of any home field. The Bounce House is going to be tough too. But BYU's up there, the upper echelon of, man, I hate going there to play a game. Now, I got them topping out. I think their best that they could possibly do is 8-5. I think that's the best. They're going to have some. Here's the reason I got them at 8-5, even though they got a tough schedule and it's their first. It's always tough for teams going to a new conference and all that. But when I look at their schedule at home, Cincinnati, they got them at home. They can get that. Tech, they don't have to go to Texas Tech. Texas Tech has to come to them. Tech has struggled on the road. I think Tech will fix some of that, but man, it's going to be a tough ask to fix that on the road at BYU. They do play OU, but they got them in their house. At early season, I got BYU beating OU at home. Iowa State, again, tough team to play. People don't think of going out there to Ames playing Iowa State as being tough. As far as like national people. But we all know in the Big 12, that's not a fun road trip. But you got them coming to Provo. So BYU should have a monster advantage there over Iowa State. So, yeah, I think if everything goes perfect for them, 8 wins. And I think that's their kind of top out for BYU. And that's more than respectable. UCF. Coach Malzahn is a legit head coach, dude. And I need to specify this. I mean, Arkansas State, Auburn, and now UCF, those are all his stops as a head coach. Unlike the Peckerhead at Texas, this dude's never had a losing season. Never. In all his coaching record, never had a losing season. That's insane. Why he's still not at Auburn is weird to me. Because I'm like, you got a national title out of him, or at least a national title appearance out of him. And with Auburn, and none of that's good enough. Never having a losing season. Auburn thinks a little too much of themselves. You're not Alabama. You're not Georgia, LSU. You're Auburn. You're the second tier of the SEC. This dude was a great coach for y'all. You're stupid. It's UCF's gain that they got that coach. He's a badass. They got the best quarterback of the 4 schools coming in. There's no question. Plumlee is the best. There's health concerns, but we're not there yet. As long as he's upright, they're going to have one hell of a season. The last 2 seasons with Gus Malzahn, UCF has had 9-win seasons. They've also had a couple back-to-back undefeated seasons in the American. I'm not saying they're going to have that, but I got them. Their top level, I think, is 9 wins, and it could be more. Could be more, but 9 wins. I'm not saying they're going to have 9. I'm not saying any of these teams are going to have that. I just think that's their ceiling. if everything works out for them, the very best, 9-3, which would be a hell of a first season in the Big 12. Um, However, they got some road games that's going to make it tough. All right. Like, of those 3 losses, Kansas State, they got to go to Kansas State. I think that's a loss. They got to go to OU. If they got them in the bounce house, I'd give that game to them. But OU, that's going to be tough. They got to go on the road to OU. That'll be tough. Texas Tech, they got to go to Lubbock. You're asking a lot for a brand new team, G5, coming into the Power 5 to go to Texas Tech. And they got to go to Kansas. To me, that's a 50-50 game there. But Kansas ain't the same little shitty team, instant win. And you got to go to Kansas. So it's 2 trips to Kansas for them. And it can very well be 2 losses. So 9-3, that's really hopeful, but I'm not hoping for them. I'm just saying I think a lot of them, if everything goes right, 9 wins could happen for them. I don't think their schedule is really that tough. All right, let's get to some of this crap here. Let's see. Pac-12 Pilgrim. He's here. Everyone's saying hello. Robert France, Bridge Dwellers. Hell, I saw more than those in San Antonio when I lived there. Could be. Same region, though. But, yeah. You know what? Honestly, I've never been to San Antonio. Never even driven through it. I gotta change something with that. I gotta go down there one time. West Virginia Mountaineer Lair with Kenny. We're just going to call you Kenny. I'm ready for all this Pac-12 drama to close and move on from it. I don't know. I kind of like the more they embarrass themselves, the absolute better. And I'm going to get to some of that. I was going to do a video on it, but I got, had some people come over and, babysat, my cousin's kids. So kind of got wrapped up in that. So I wasn't able to drop a video yesterday. But so I'm just going to cover that, what I was going to cover in the video and the live stream. But I'm going to do that here in a minute. Get caught up first here. Pac-12 needs to quit getting stringed along with George Kliavkoff. Well, I don't know who's doing the stringing. I really don't. I can't really blame anyone else but them. Robert Franz, I saw BYU as the surprise team out of the 4 add-ons for the Big 12. They can be. I think they can be. I got them ranked number 2, and I got their ceiling 8-4. Only 1 win difference. So any of these teams can step up and shock you. I'm not saying they can't. I'm just saying the most likely one to me is UCF. Kenny, let's see here. You got to understand they are in the conference now, plus a step up in competition, so they may not be as good as you think with the BYU. True, but BYU's they're no stranger to playing Power 5 schools every year. I mean, they've kind of had the attitude of anywhere, anytime, anyone for the, especially since they've been independent. They'll play anybody. And you got to have a lot of respect for that, and so as far as a step up in competition, I think they're kind of used to that. And I think they're a much better, well-ran, well-coached program than I think a lot of people realize. And they're going to have a little more success their first year in the Big 12 than I think people give them credit for. Look, all 4 independent 3 G5s, they were the best schools, best programs outside of the Power 5. And tell you what, I got a lot more respect for these schools than I did some of these other ones that already had Power 5 status. A hell of a lot more respect. I mean, look at Arizona State. These 4 schools right here, I would rather have than Arizona State. I would rather have them than Oregon State or Washington State. I'd take them over Vanderbilt or Rutgers or Purdue, Illinois, Northwestern. I would take them over all of those programs and schools. And I'm talking football, but really, hell, we could throw in basketball too. I'd rather have these four than a lot of crap that's out there. All right, those ACC schools, I think those four are just better. And I think better fits than most of the ACC, personally. I mean, what about Ole Miss, Mississippi State, Mizzou? I think I'd rather have these four than Mizzou. You might say, well, that's crazy. No, it's not. What has Mizzou ever done, especially in the SEC? Jack shit. I don't know, man. These guys are just hungry, man. They're hungry. They want it. The excitement is palpable. So I am just really looking forward to this season and seeing what they do. And I'm going to track this shit out of everybody in the Big 12. Can't wait. Damn it. Yeah, but that Pac-12 stuff, it's a laugh riot. It's a laugh riot. So they apparently shared a partial framework, whatever that means, of a deal. A partial framework, not even the whole frame. They say they're not going to get all the details of just a framework until the Pac-12 Media Days, June 21st. That's according to Ross Dillinger. What? Okay, Colorado, if you just want to hang out until, I don't know, June 30th of 2024, maybe they'll get something done by then. You want to hang out till then you're stupid. You're stupid. There's no hope. Okay. So they announced this framework, right? A couple hours later, no more than, oh my God, here comes the Big 12. Hey, guess what? We finished our long forms. Our media deal is completely done, finished, end of story. And they just barely got a framework. Now, it was announced that we got the extension from ESPN and Fox, that TV deal. I believe that was late November, early December when that news dropped. And we're like, whoa, it only took like a month or 5 weeks or something since we heard that Big 12 entered early negotiations. So if you do the time on that, what is it? Let's just be generous and say it's been like 7 months. So it took them 7 months to finish the long form crap. And, look, it took the Big Ten forever to finish their long form stuff. It's typical, but they got it done. So the deal, the long form, everything done. 7 months, 8 months, right? The Pac, it's been a fucking year. It's been a year. We're in July. It's been a year. It's been a year. And all you have is the most loose framework. It wasn't even announced who the framework is with. I mean, what people? Linear concepts. Oh, you gotta love. Hold on. Hey Siri, what is the definition of concepts? Concept, an abstract idea. Structuralism is a difficult concept. Okay. Or it could be a plan or intention. An idea or invention to help sell or publicize a commodity. Concept. So it was just a very, very weird word. I think everyone kind of like said, what the hell are you talking about concepts? Essentially, they're trying to do something that just no one does. So linear, but not partners, not linear content. It's linear concepts. In other words, I don't think they have the partners down. They're just having concepts. So this is going to be my interpretation of what it means. I think they're meaning CW because nobody has done business with CW. So I think a lot of their linear is going to be on CW. I think a lot of their tier 3, which would typically you would see on something like ESPN Plus. And nowadays, a lot of people put in tier 3, like Big Ten is putting their tier 3 on Peacock. Perfect for streaming. They may put, I don't know how much, but quite a bit of their tier 3 on Ion scripts, because it doesn't take a lot of money to get tier 3. That's like the lowest level. And it's like a lot of your non-revenue stuff. And Ion scripts, it seems to me they're trying to work a lot like Fox Sports Southwest and Northwest or whatever East. That kind of stuff where you would catch, like here in Dallas Fort Worth, you would catch a lot of the Texas Ranger games on Fox Sports Southwest. A lot of your Dallas Spurs or Dallas Mavericks would also be playing on Fox Sports whatever West, whatever South, whatever direction you live. So I think that's what Scripps is trying to do, kind of get into that more local, linear kind of option. And I think that's the kind of concepts that they're talking about. Which, like I said, it's not going to be a lot of money. For either one, CW or Ion, not a lot. It just doesn't seem that Fox and ESPN are going to be involved, like, at all. Like, at all. Because ESPN is not a concept. It's what you want. I don't know. It's ridiculous. That's the biggest point I can make. It's ridiculous you don't have a deal right now to announce to the world numbers. I have no answer. And not only does the Big 12 have their long forms done and all that, their data deal is set to be announced in the next week or two. They pretty much have that finalized. And what is that? That's they're selling all of their stats to that company. And it's going to probably include gambling sites so you can get live information. Now, if you notice, NFL, NBA, everybody is embracing the gambling thing. Now, as we've seen with certain SEC people, you can take that and do something really wrong with it. There's been players that have gotten involved in gambling here recently, and it's not a good look. But that's the future. There's just too much money in it. So the data deal, I don't know. We know that deal is going to be millions of dollars for the Big 12. Exactly how much? I looked it up before. The NFL, I believe, are somewhere in the neighborhood of $80 to $100 million a year on their data deal that they do sell to gambling sites and stuff. Yeah. So it's a lot of money. Is the Big 12 going to make that? No. 20, 30 million a year? Probably not out of the question. That's going to be a nice revenue stream to go with the media rights deal. So, how much is that per team? 12 divided by 2, so about what? $2 to $3 million, somewhere in that 2.5 per team. It's nothing worth sneezing at, y'all. I mean, considering if you're in the Mountain West, you're bringing in what, $6 million overall for your media deal, And if you're the Big 12, you're making 2.5 just off your data deal. So, not bad. Not bad. So, all of this coming to fruition for the Big 12. And all you got in the pack is a little shitty piece of framework, whatever that means, with linear concepts. You're talking about the most lawyer of lawyer speak in this whole thing. It's ridiculous. Stupid. To Mazda. What's up, man? SMU can pay for the TV. Yeah, SMU. They'll fund the whole fucking league. That's what they're gonna do. They'll just write a check. No problem. SMU Oil and Gas. As a matter of fact, the next time we have a war, SMU can just fund it. I mean, unlimited funds over there in Dallas. Unlimited. They're like the Saudis of America. That's what they are. Start their own live tour. All the whole SMU is, they can do whatever they want. All right, they could buy SpaceX tomorrow, put SMU on the moon, just like so stupid. Oh, so stupid. But yeah, like I said, I think it's going to be a better year than people think for those new four teams. I don't think any of them are going to really just outright suck. It's possible. It's football, anything can happen. But I think I did a pretty good job there. Just a small little breakdown of what I expect, what can be expected, and why I feel the way I feel. Because Houston could end up being the best team out of all four of these. You never know. I just think the odds are UCF's going to be the best. Oh. There was something else. Damn it. And I didn't write it down. Sorry. That's how professional I am. No. Nope. Well, shit. Don't know where I did with it. Trying to think if there's any more good news for the pack. Seems like I'm missing something. Y'all let me know if there's anything positive about the pack at all. I mean, if you think this framework is positive, I guess it's better than not. It's like, what are the least amount we can actually talk about, throw out there? There you go. And you're doing it on a Friday. That's when, as far as in politics, that's usually when they do their information dump, when they don't want something to blow up into a huge story. Traditionally they would throw that out on a Friday, especially a Friday before a holiday. That's when you want the bad news to be released. So I thought it was kind of strange to put that shit out on a Friday before a holiday. What, you really trying to bury yourself, bury the lead? Paul Lupke, what's up, dude? Maybe I can talk SMU into giving me a cool $1 million to drive around Iowa with their flag on my car. Yeah. I do see people with the little advertisements on top of their car. They make a little money for that, I guess. I wouldn't want that shit hanging off my ride, but if that's your side hustle, then maybe SMU can get into some of that, Paul. So, but overall, was I even going to talk about? I don't know. Well, let's talk about these four a little bit more in basketball terms. Now, BYU can rise up and be pretty damn good in basketball. They usually are. UCF's on the way up. Cincinnati. Bearcats, traditionally not a bad uh, bad program there in basketball. But Houston's going to be hell on wheels come this fall in basketball. There's some bitch. Kansas has got competition because Houston is more than legit. More than legit. As a matter of fact, yeah, there'll be a tournament team this year in top three in the conference. Yeah, yeah. Houston's that damn good. If you want a baseball breakdown, I think you may have the wrong channel. Or wrestling, track and field, probably, probably not track and field. But man, exciting damn times for the new Big 12, dude. I mean, like I said, I can't wait. I know these guys are incredibly hungry. They've been waiting, drooling out of their mouths to come to the Big 12. And but that's the cool thing. I mean, the excitement is freaking palpable coming into this year. And you look at the pack. They should be excited, man. They got, I mean, it's a little top heavy. Their bottom 4 or 5 programs aren't great, or even competitive. But the top half of the league, really good. They have something to talk about. All right, whether it's Utah, Oregon, Washington, or, for one more year, USC and UCLA, Oregon State. I mean, they got some programs there that can be kind of exciting. Arizona might be on the rise. And they haven't gotten it into Coach Prime, which is going to be big time. It's going to be huge, huge ratings. Everyone wants to see what Colorado does with Coach Prime. So many stories out of there. And no one cares. No one cares. Why? Because all we got is some framework come July. This is July 2nd, and all they got is a little bit of framework. No deal, no nothing. And what is the wisdom of waiting to Pac-12 media days without a deal? No one's going to be talking about Coach Prime. No one's going to be talking about, hey, Arizona might have a good coach, might be on the way up. No one's going to be talking, about Oregon, what they can do, what USC and UCLA can do in their last year in the Pac-12. No one's going to talk about Washington or Oregon State. Can play spoiler in a lot of things. No one's going to talk about that. I mean, Utah, 2-time defending Pac-12 champs. Is anyone going to be talking about them? God, that's got to suck. That's got to suck if you're a fan of any of those programs. Or even in the suck ones. Even if you're a Cal fan or Stanford fan, Arizona State fan, even you guys are going to be like, man, what? I understand they're so tired of talking about this because it's crap. Crapping on their conference, crapping on their programs over and over and over again. Well, we're just going to keep lifting a leg on you if you let us. It's not as fun if the proverbial, umbrella comes up, but you're doing nothing to help yourselves out. And adding SMU will do nothing for you. Adding San Diego State is going to do nothing for you. I'm still going to put out a video on this revenue sharing going on in California, the new rule that's going to kick in 2024. And because of that, it's serious shit. At this point, I don't want the Big 12 to add any California schools ever. All right, not after, kind of seeing what's in that, what they're going to. You're talking about the dumbest ass state legislature. All 50 states, they're the worst. And they're going to put their nose right up college football's ass, and they already have. But with the shit that's coming out, oh, don't do business in California. But let's talk about some adding. All right, something I've been wanting to get to. Um, Brett Yormark, he went on that BYU thing, did that whole interview there. Interesting stuff. What was a breath of fresh air? And if you really read between the tea leaves, what he was talking about wanting to stay at 14 teams, even when Texas and OU leave, which means he wants to add two more, Colorado and Arizona, as long as he can get them, as long as they're still willing or whatever. He left that little option open. All he said was 2 teams, if we can do that. If not, he's happy at 12. It's what you should say. But 14 was an interesting number, wasn't it, people? Very interesting. Number one, my first takeaway from that is, he's not going to add any G5s at all. Not San Diego State, not Memphis, not UNLV, not Rice, Tulane, USF. I mean, the list goes on and on of the teams I've heard. Now, he was still very positive about the basketball situation, so I don't think we're at the Gonzaga or UConn spot yet. I don't think that's what he's talking about. He's talking about 14. He's talking about Colorado. He's talking about Arizona. But you can really read a lot what he's talking about. He's talking about fit. And yeah, it needs to be additive. It's got to fit business-wise. It's got to fit culturally too. And what have we heard from Utah? What have we heard from Arizona State? Not really thrilled. Not really thrilled at the concept of coming to the Big 12. It's not what they want to do. It's not what any of these teams really realistically want to do. But with Colorado and Arizona, they're like, you know what? We would love to be there. We would love to be there. Now, I think one of the things that's taken so long is they got people within those programs that really want to give Kliavkoff and the pack every chance in the world to come up with some solid number and business partner or partners. That's, and of course, you're not trying to have a big civil war within your school. So you're like, okay, we'll give it a few more weeks. Son of a bitch, we'll give it another week. Okay, you want till June 21st now? God. I mean, we're going to see the whole frame. We can't see the bed. We're just going to see the frame. Great. But at some point, they kind of get the message. And I think with, what we all believe is going to happen, Colorado, Arizona are going to go. There's just not going to be enough money and not enough exposure in the pack. But it was a breath of fresh air when you're talking about our commissioner, Yormark, talking about we want people who want to be here. All right, these 4 schools, BYU, Cincinnati, Houston, and UCF, almost said the wrong one, UCF, they want to be here. They want to be here. They are jacked up, excited beyond all belief. Not everybody has to jump up and shit their pants if they want to come to the Big 12. But you should be excited. You should want to be here, want to play the teams, want this competition. And if you don't, if you're like, I guess, then stay your punk ass out. Let me tell you a little something about Utah. Once upon a time, not that long ago, Utah was in the Mountain West. Nobody gave 2 shits about that program. They got their shot. They got their shot to come in to the pack, to the Power 5 level. and they did the most they can do with it. They did a superb job. Didn't make it to a playoff. They've got to a couple of those Rose Bowls. Haven't won one yet, but they've gotten there. But does the Big 12 need Utah? Are we going to just fall apart and die and fade away without Utah? No. No. Do we really need Colorado or Arizona? I would say you kind of need Arizona. Arizona is a great get. I think Colorado would be a great get. Do you need them? I think you need to expand with the right schools. Something else Brett Yormark was talking about. Expansion, of course, it's got to be the right opportunities. Those two schools represent the right opportunities. So hopefully that works out for us. That would do a lot for the Big 12. Is Arizona State necessary? No. Strong ties within California. I think they have a campus in Southern California. Utah, they think a lot of themselves and not a lot of the Big 12. And if that's the case, don't bother. Don't bother coming here. Don't bother accepting any more phone calls or nothing from the Big 12. Stay in the pack, or whatever that's going to form into later on. You could be the big fish in the small pond. Fine. Do that. But I think what I found refreshing from Brett Yormark was if you just don't want to be here, you don't want to be a part of this, part of the future of the Big 12, the excitement that's here, then you just be a drag on what we're doing. And we don't want to deal with people that are just going to be a drag. So I'm sorry, Utah fans. I know you got a great program there. Outstanding football, women's basketball, not really men's, but women's, yes. But go play with yourself. Because I think Yormark and the rest are kind of done with Utah. That's why you're only talking about, oh, it would be, if we had we would love to be at 14, maybe even 16. That would have been the language, but it wasn't. 14. Because he knows. Arizona State's being little pricks. So is Utah. We don't need you. We don't need you. If you don't want us, we don't want you. It's that simple. If you don't want to be here, we don't want you here. So that's fine. It's a trailer park conference. It's a truck stop conference. It's the blue collar, got a big ass propane tank in the backyard, kind of above ground swimming pool conference. Fine. Fine. Stay in your shit then. Just don't ever bother coming here. Don't need you. Don't want you. Not if you don't want us. That's fine. Kenny, I'm excited for UCF because I always thought they would get the raw end of the deal when it came to bids for bowls. Yeah, when you're Power 5, that happens too often. But I kind of look at it that way, and I look at the same thing with any ACC school. If you don't want to be here, fuck yourself. And deal with your own shit. We don't, like I said, we don't need anybody. All right, we're going to expand with the schools that really want to be a part of this. That's the biggest takeaway I got from Brett Yormark. And hallelujah. I personally don't want to expand with a bunch of ass wipes. I've been just looking at it just through the business level, and Utah makes sense business-wise, but it's not necessary. There's other business opportunities out there for the Big 12. This whole thing isn't revolving around what Utah is going to do at all. I agree with you 100% from Kenny. Good. About time somebody does. Tired of this 89% shit. I'm just, yeah, kind of over it, kind of done with it. Uh, will Utah end up back in the Mountain West? Maybe. I know if you listen to the Monty show, they're going to tell you, "Oh no, y'all just don't get it." You just and they act surprised whenever they get a lot of Big 12 people shitting on the pack. I don't know, understand where this hate comes from. When you're called a bunch of dumbass GED conference sons of bitches all the time, we start getting a little feeling a certain way about it, and it's not positive. So look, people who want to come here, as you've seen with these four schools, three G5s and an independent, we will welcome you, embrace the fans. Yes, let's go. Let's play each other. Let's try to kick each other's ass and have a good time. But when it's all said and done, it's about the Big 12 conference and how this son of a bitch is going to do bigger and better things as we go forward. Can't do that with a bunch of assholes in here. They don't give a damn about the conference, don't give a damn about the membership that's already here, nor about the future. They only care about themselves. That's an issue. That's an issue I got with Utah. And not even as much Utah fans, Ute fans. Although there's a lot of them pricks too that are pricks. There's some of them that are really cool and aren't like that, but damn it, there's a hell of a lot of Utah fans that can kiss my ass. And every son of a bitch and leader of that university can kiss my ass. Oh, we're packed till it blows to the ground. Maybe it doesn't. Maybe it merges with the Mountain West. I don't know. I don't know what your future is. But it's not with the Big 12. It doesn't look like it's ever going to be with the Big 12 because you can't pull your head out of your ass. And that's fine. That's fine. Have your head up your ass somewhere else. Same thing with Arizona State. We want Arizona. I keep hearing, well, there's big ass fan base in Arizona State, but they do nothing. They got a decent basketball program. Decent. I'll give them that. What else they got? Nothing we need. We need some Arizona basketball, but I'm talking about the elite program, not the decent one. And as far as a school out of the great state of Utah, we already got the best one. I don't give a shit about the Rose Bowl appearances and the Rose Bowl losses. Don't care. Yay. We got the team that more people watch, that more people care about around the globe, around the country. BYU is the brand in Utah, whether you like it or not. Utah, sorry, you're unnecessary. The Utes are unnecessary in the Big 12. That's kind of what you can garner from a lot of things that Yormark said. And you got to keep in mind, he speaks for the presidents. So he's heard that from them too. Hey, we don't want people here that don't want to be here. So presidents, NADs of this conference, that is also what's being said through Yormark. Hallelujah. Amen. We don't need pricks that don't want to be here. So, Kenny, in my opinion, Utah has a stay in the West Ivy League. They have a upcoming football pro. Not exactly sure what all you're trying to say there, Kenny, but I appreciate it anyway. Okay, yeah, the first worst fan base, stay in the West Ivy League. I don't know, maybe. They have an up and coming football program. Well, Utah's already there. I mean, I can't lie. They got a damn good football program, but where do you want to be? You want to be in the pack. You want to be in bullshit, and you want to kind of kick us on your way to doing that. I'm not interested. Like I said, I'm just not interested when you're not interested. It's like, you see a girl, she looks pretty good. You ask her out. She's like, if I don't get asked out by somebody else around here, I'll probably, then cool. We'll go to Taco Bell or something. Is that going to make you excited for her? No. You can't, like, woman, no. I asked you. No one else is asking you. If no one else wants you, and you're going to stick around and see if Brad Pitt's going to walk through that door, good luck. Good luck. Peace out. I'll get your sister's number. BYU. We got her number already. Arizona, true, they do have an upcoming football program. Mr. Kinney. At least that's what I'm hearing. I kind of like some of the things I hear from the coach, especially when he's rather non-committal about the pack. I loved hearing that too. Such good shit. But overall, I just wanted to say welcome to the 4 new teams, the new Big 12. The new Big 12. Only got to deal with Texas and OU for 1 more year. And then peace out, you bastards. You got to deal with that crap no more. The new is here. And I'm here for it. Excited about it. And I'll talk to y'all again on Wednesday. Appreciate y'all being here. Damn it. And I'm going to drop a couple of videos on y'all before then. That's right. So I'm going to try. Hope I didn't just lie. Anyway, thanks for watching. I'll be back with that crap some other time.